Who do we got with us today?
Sparkle.
Tell us about yourself, Miss Sparkle. Give us a little bit of your background.
Um, I'll be 35 this year. I was born and raised in the city of St. Louis. I lost my mother when I was 8 and was raised by grandmother, aunties, just different family members. I got 2 boys, 7, 1 years old.
What schools did you go to
Um,
growing up?
Middle school, I went to Stowe Middle. Actually, I grew up in the Parkway District, and I was taken out and I went to Sumner. That was my high school. And I eventually dropped out and I went to GED school. Took my GED when I was 17.
Where did life take you after you got your GED?
I traveled. I worked for different companies. It was good. I mean, I've pretty much done everything I wanted, but become a millionaire.
Over your travels, what are some of the things, highlights of your life that you can speak on?
I remember a time a few years ago. I went to New Orleans. I got to do a road trip with my baby. He was like 4 years old at the time. We went from New Orleans to Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee, going to see the Lorraine Hotel where MLK was killed at. Just seeing different places because I'm drawn to the South. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to the South. I love the South.
What
I love the clean air.
what kind of relationship do you have with your family to this date?
Distant, very distant. I don't. It's there when we see each other, but it's not. I barely see my family, and I have a huge family, but I don't have any siblings. I have a lot of cousins, aunties, a few uncles, but I don't have any. I'm an only child.
What are you teaching your kids growing up that they can take with them?
The biggest. My baby is one. I haven't got a chance to really teach him much yet, but my 7-year-old, I just taught him to be outspoken. It's a way to speak what's on your mind without being disrespectful, because I didn't have that when I was a kid. It was called talking back, when you told a grown-up how you feel. So I gave my son an opportunity, and he checked me. He held me accountable for everything.
How have you seen the city of St. Louis change since you were a little girl up until now? What are the changes that you've seen that stick out the most to you?
Just a lot of rundown parts, a lot of rundown streets, a lot of buildings that's vacant and can be used for, recreation. It's just a lot of stuff, all these abandoned buildings. The people, the crime, it's a lot. It's a lot.
What do you remember doing as a little girl growing up in the city of St. Louis that you don't really see people doing anymore?
The Mayday Parade. I would never step foot. I used to go to the Mayday Parade all the time on Natural Bridge, but I would never step foot in where they got it now. I would never go downtown with them barricades and stuff, but I missed the Mayday Parade. And just being able to sit outside, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
When did all that stuff change to you? Like, when did you start seeing the change? Did it happen over time? Did it happen all of a
I
sudden?
don't know. I'm guessing around the time when I hit my early teen years, around the time when I was 20, I was kind of sheltered. So a lot of things that I'm seeing now, I didn't see when I was young. I was a sheltered kid. My grandmother tried to keep me sheltered, and I think that was the toughest part because she wanted to protect me so bad.
What is some of the things that your grandma taught you growing up?
To have morals, have respect, to act like a lady. I constantly heard her say, I need to get the cat out my ass and act like a lady. She said, I grew up a tomboy, so, hey.
What else did she teach you?
I don't know, this this may make some of my family members mad, but my grandma taught me how to get money out of men when I was 15. I'm not gonna lie.
And what did she teach you in getting money out
She
of
told
men?
me she told me if a man can't buy me a bar of soap or a douche, he don't need to lay down with me.
What is some advice that you would give a young lady who's thinking about coming out here on these streets and doing her thing?
I would tell all the young women, don't. This is not a place. This is definitely not a. And I'm out here, but everybody not built for this type of lifestyle. I've seen a lot, and it's just by the grace of God that I haven't endured any hardship out here. Like I don't make it my home out here. Like I get in and I get out. Like
How long have you been out here dealing with what you're dealing with?
about 2.5 years. I came out here about 2.5 years ago.
What caused that?
Not at the time, just not wanting to work a job, not wanting to and it's not that I don't want to work, it's that I can't have a boss. I can't follow the supervisor rules and all that stuff. I have a problem with authority. And I've always was the type of person that wanted to do it my way.
How's your way working these days?
I guess I could say it's working for me, but I don't know for how long.
What would you like to be doing as far as occupational wise, being your own boss? What would be the ideal situation for you?
I would like to be a advocate for women and children. I would like to work with women and children, even go as far as buying a building to house battered women and children. Like I'm a beautician, so I would like to implicate that into everything I do. I've always just been a motivational person. I can motivate other people, but I can't motivate myself.
Why do you think that is? What's got you so hell-bent on being an advocate for the battered women and children?
My trauma. Everything I went through with losing my parents and just having to be grown at an early age.
What advice would you give someone in order to keep their head level out here, as far as to keep their sanity, because I know that's an everyday struggle?
One thing I have learned, and it goes back to the basics, prayer. Prayer got me out of deep, dark depression. I could take my own advice on that because I don't do it much now. But yeah, I would say stay prayed up and stay out the way.
Did you grow up in church?
I grew up in church.
What church did you attend?
I went to Walnut Park.
You still go there?
I don't go to Walnut Park anymore. I don't go to church anymore. And I know church say come as you are, but the churches now, I feel like, and it's just me, I just feel like they have, like I say, nobody's perfect, and that's what they say. They tell you to go to church when you know, but it's more devils in church. It's more witches, and I see people go to church every day that's foul as hell in the street. So I don't know. My church is at home. It's within me.
If you could flip the page on your life and go back to the beginning, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
I will go back about 4.5 years ago, and I probably wouldn't have took that first pill that I tried. Maybe would have probably, because I was happy I had a happy life, but was looking for something to just boost like the mood. I don't know. It was weird. I don't even have an excuse as to why, but I just wanted to feel happy. Shit.
Can you explain the difference how people think that everybody out here is basically really hardcore addicts? Can you kind of explain like everybody isn't hardcore addicts? Some people have different types of issues.
Far as that, I don't know many people out here in the streets. Everyone I do know out here, they do some type of drug. But I have met people that weren't, that didn't do any drugs, and they had mental issues, just needed help. It's a lot of people out here with trauma and mental issues to this day. So I don't. With that, that's kind of hard. It's hard to explain. It's a lot to get into that.
Are there any ways you can be contacted, reached? If people want to reach out to you to share resources with you, is there any ways you can be contacted?
I have a Facebook page, Lachey Smith, and then I have TikTok, Sparkle93, Sparkle Smith 93. That's my TikTok.
In closing, Ms. Sparkle, if there's anything you want to say that you haven't said to get off your chest, now's the time you can say it.
I pretty much said everything. I guess if I have to say anything to get off my chest, I would say mind your own business. Stay off to yourself, and don't be like me.
We appreciate you taking time out with us, Ms. Sparkle. Thank you very much.